Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargava again. Welcome to yet another episode of Business and Finance exclusive with me, only on HW News. The announcement of the Reserve Bank of India terminating and truncating the tenure of the Yes Bank founder, CEO, Managing Director, Mr. Rana Kapoor, only until 31st January 2019, it stunned banking circles and sent shockwaves in the stock markets. As the newspapers say, there was a bloodbath on the stock markets yesterday. The share of Yes Bank fell by almost 40%. The share of Diwan Housing Finance fell by 60%. Shares of many other NBFCs and banks were weak and headed southwards. It was a day when the stock market swung by 4% in a downslide, all led by the news of Yes Bank, Rana Kapoor's term of appointment being truncated by the RBI. The brokerages, the stock market firms are expecting a further sharp fall in the price of Yes Bank as they turn its direction from buy to sell. Investors are exiting from this share in a large way. If you look at this news of the Reserve Bank order terminating his appointment, if you look at it from the overall picture, it is not really a disturbing news in terms of a sudden shock. The news is disturbing, but it was not one to cause a panic. Look at the overall factors in the banking and finance scenario. The crisis of Chanda Kochar is yet to be resolved. Investigations are on. It yet defies a solution. India's NPA crisis defies a solution. The new NPAs that are coming on the block are coming with a potential haircut of 92%. That's the kind of loss banks will have to undertake. The latest kid on the block, ILFS, has triggered a payment default in the system, and Dena Bank has been found to be bankrupt and is now being merged. The overall scenario in India's banking NBFC industry is not the best. We are waiting, or we are probably waiting with bated breath. When will be the next IDBI kind of a situation where LIC will have to step in to buy the bank? When will another ILFS come on the block? When will a bank fail? When will a large NBFC fail? And who's going to be the next CEO of a bank who Reserve Bank is going to find guilty of misdeeds and will probably ask him also to be eased out? Let us look at the Rana Kapoor story. Rana Kapoor and his brother-in-law, the late Ashok Kapoor, they were awarded a license by the Reserve Bank of India to set up a bank which they called Yes Bank in the year 2003. In the year 2004, Yes Bank was set up, and since then, Rana Kapoor, who has been its dominant shareholder, has also been its managing director and CEO. He has ruled the roost at the bank right since the beginning till date. Unlike the likes of Shikha Sharma, the MD of Axis Bank, or Chanda Kochar, the MD of ICICI Bank, even though Rana Kapoor is also the MD CEO of Yes Bank, there's a huge difference between them and him. Rana Kapoor is a large shareholder, a dominant shareholder, a promoter, a founder, as well as the CEO of the bank. That is a lot of concentration of power in one single individual. And that is anti-accountability, anti-transparency, anti-corporate governance, as we will see in our discussion later on. So, it was in June 2018 that the shareholders of Yes Bank gave him yet another appointment term of 3 years. So, the shareholders reappointed him for another 3 years, and the matter went to the Reserve Bank for its approval as per the laws of the land. Reserve Bank of India sat on it for some time, and on 30th August 2018, the RBI said he would be allowed to continue until further orders. Rana Kapoor's term, in other words, had not been approved by the RBI. For us, it meant his days at Yes Bank as its CEO were numbered. Reserve Bank had reservations in approving his appointment as the CEO of Yes Bank. And now, on Wednesday, Reserve Bank comes up with its final decision. It says he will be allowed to be the CEO of Yes Bank only until 31st January 2019. and not thereafter. In other words, Rana Kapoor or Reserve Bank does not trust Rana Kapoor to sign the balance sheet of Yes Bank as at 31st March 2019. What are the reasons for this? The Reserve Bank did not mention any reasons for this decision, even though informed circles know that it is because of violation of corporate governance and regulatory issues under his charge at Yes Bank. So while the Reserve Bank attributes or gives no reasons, the reasons in trade circles are pretty well known. They are known because those have been the findings of the RBI over a period of time in its inspection of the books of accounts and records of Yes Bank. Yes Bank's shares naturally had to tank on this kind of a development. The Reserve Bank of India has been conducting inspection and audit of Yes Bank on a year-to-year basis. It found out in 2016 when the RBI did an asset quality review of the assets of Yes Bank, it found out that Yes Bank had indulged in what many others had indulged in. It had underreported its losses by way of NPAs and it had overreported its profits. In merely March 2016, the Reserve Bank found that Yes Bank had reported its bad debts at just about 2,000 crores, whereas the actual figure was about 8,400 crores. Bad debts to the tune of 6,300 crores had been concealed. The same thing was found when it conducted an inspection in 2017 March. It was found that in totality, Yes Bank had concealed losses. In other words, it had window dressed its accounts to the tune of 10,000 crores plus. This was a very disturbing and damning finding on the leadership of Yes Bank under Rana Kapoor. Let me point out to you, under Rana Kapoor's leadership, Yes Bank has done pretty well on the capital markets. Its share price has gone up by 25 times in a matter of 13 years. But these findings spoke an entirely different story. The Reserve Bank obviously found that the books of accounts of Yes Bank had been manipulated and window dressed. At this point of time, the RBI also found that Yes Bank was a bunch of yes men of Rana Kapoor and his nominees. They found that it was being run like a one-man army. It was a one-man show. It was one man who dominated the organization and called the shots. And nobody on the board of directors, the Reserve Bank found, had the guts to oppose him. One man had become much bigger than the institution, and that is not good, especially for a banking institution which deals with public money to the tune of tens of thousands of crores. The RBI findings also were that there was a reluctance on the part of Yes Bank to make disclosures. The RBI findings were also reservations about transparency in disclosures in corporate governance by Yes Bank under the leadership of Mr. Rana Kapoor. All this is more than enough to damage an institution, even if it may not have been damaged. And the damage had been done, even though it was being concealed and very safely kept away from the eyes of the regulators, but it was finally spotted. The RBI team, we are informed, also noted that the performance of Yes Bank had been very superlative despite the kind of downturn the banking industry faces. The RBI team also got into investigating in detail a number of large loan accounts given under Rana Kapoor's leadership. It was funny, the industry was facing tough times, but the balance sheet of Yes Bank always showed great times. That was a reason to suspect that the window dressing of accounts must be running much more deeper. And who was the beneficiary of all this? It was, of course, Mr. Rana Kapoor himself. He was the dominant shareholder of the bank. If the bank showed good performance, the share prices went up. And if the share prices went up, it was his wealth that benefited the most. No wonder, till last month, the share price of Yes Bank had touched about 400 rupees a share. Today, it has come down to about 215 and it is expected to go down further. So, when there are charges, when there are allegations that Rana Kapoor was also pumping up the share price of Yes Bank on the stock markets, there seemed to be a semblance of truth in it because he was a direct beneficiary of these kind of tactics on the market. in our opinion also, if these be the allegations, it was time for him to go. And that is what Reserve Bank very decisively decided. It said his tenure ends on 31st January 2019. The fallout of this decision of Reserve Bank was widespread and extensive. A number of brokerages led by IDFC and Citigroup downrated the stock of Yes Bank from buy to sell. They said a much further sharper correction in the price is expected. They downrated its business outlook. They said that its earnings outlook also now is weak. They said that its fee income earning outlook, which was completely led by Rana Kapoor, is also going to suffer. And they also said that the bank's proposal to raise capital, the bank is expected to raise $1 billion by 31st December 2018 by way of share capital. They said that its capital raising program would also suffer. Brokerages have taken a very negative position on the stock market price of Yes Bank, and they are all predicting a much further downfall. Incidentally, so confident was Yes Bank that the tenure of Rana Kapoor will be approved that they don't even have a succession plan in place. They don't even have an internal candidate to succeed Mr. Rana Kapoor. They don't even know who's going to be the successor. And the mere 4 months time that Reserve Bank has given to Yes Bank to recruit a new CEO is going to be too less. It is very likely that Yes Bank might approach Reserve Bank to reconsider its decision. But as we have seen in the case of Shikha Sharma, we do not expect that Reserve Bank would reconsider its decision. This decision to us looks that it will stand. We also do not know under these circumstances whether he would be even allowed to continue as the non-executive chairman of the board of directors of Yes Bank. Because if he is there on the board of directors, he is bound to be in a situation to influence its decisions in the capacity of being its founder, in the capacity of being its dominant shareholder, in the capacity of him being the person who has driven its fortunes so far. The market is looking at the bank from a very pessimistic perspective at the moment. And this kind of pessimism is bound to spread to shares and NBFC shares of other banks also. The Reserve Bank of India, by taking this decision, has sent a very strong signal to banks and financial institutions. The signal is that corporate governance dilution or violation or regulatory norms being violated is not going to be tolerated and action will be taken. The message is come clean. The message is do not conceal the facts and do not hide the truth. And the message is transparency will be insisted upon. And if a bank is found to be not so, decisive action will be taken, however stern it be. These kind of actions are needed. These kind of actions should have been taken probably at the very inception when the Reserve Bank of India found out that the likes of Shikha Sharma, Chanda Kochar and now Rana Kapoor were indulging in manipulating and window dressing the financial statements of their respective banks. We think that this kind of a decision in the wake of such serious findings by the Reserve Bank of India is a bit late in the day. You will recall that when the Nirav Modi scam broke out, and there was at that point of time a widespread demand from public circles for the dismissal of the top brass of PNB. And at that point of time, the Reserve Bank governor had showed his helplessness in saying that the RBI does not have the power to dismiss the top management of a public sector bank, but it could do so as far as the private sector bank is concerned. The Reserve Bank of India has shown that it has the muscle to take these decisions, however belated they have been. It showed that in the case of Shikha Sharma, and now it has shown that in the case of Rana Kapoor, the charismatic, flamboyant founder of Yes Bank. But what remains a question mark is, why has the Reserve Bank of India compromised its decisions of this nature in the case of Chanda Kochar at ICICI Bank, who is facing far more serious charges of financial delinquency than even what Rana Kapoor faces? This is Akhilesh Bhargava signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
If you like this video, please share it and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.